Hello and welcome to our very first weekly news update for the first day in April, and is tradition, a pensioner punch for the first day of the month. First up, downsizing.com.au has released a new report which explains how the rising number of working older Australians will transform the nation's over 50s housing industry. The report finds that 3.99 million Australians over 50 are still working, with this number expected to increase to 5.2 million by 2031. The report says the trend will dramatically alter how the over 50s housing industry markets itself and builds new homes, along with forced change on state regulators and the finance industry. Here's downsizing.com.au's very own Mark Skelsey to explain more.
So this report finds that the increasing number of over 50s who are working is really going to change things up in terms of over 50s housing. You're probably going to move towards a scenario where the term retirement living will be used less often. You're going to find a lot more studies and study nooks in over 50s housing so people can work from home. You're going to basically find potentially more finance products which allow people who have an existing mortgage, because there's more people with a mortgage, being able to transfer that across when they move into an over 50s house in the future. People are still going to want to downsize when they're working. None of that changes. But what could change is how the industry responds to this trend.
In other news this week, Tasmanian pensioners will now be able to save more than $11,000 on stamp duty when they purchase a home worth up to $600,000. The Tasmanian government has increased the price threshold for the state pensioner duty concession scheme from $500,000 to $600,000. The stamp duty discount is available for pensioners who sell their family home in Tasmania and downsize into another existing home in the state with a lesser value. And meanwhile, a major not-for-profit retirement living provider is planning a new apartment project in an inner Sydney suburb after selling out another project in the very same suburb. Uniting has confirmed its 49-dwelling, 6-level vertical retirement village project at Norton Street, Leichhardt, is a sellout and is now welcoming its very first residents. Given the success of Uniting Norton Street, Uniting is now planning a second new retirement village at nearby Marion Street. And finally this week, we loved the story supplied to us by RetireAustralia about two friends who went to high school together and now live in the same South Australian retirement village. Hazel Wilson and Ruth Taylor first met nearly 8 decades ago and are both aged 91, and now find themselves living just streets away as part of the Torrens Grove village in Kilkenny. As always, you can review these stories and more in our newsroom on downsizing.com.au. That's all for this week. I'm Bruce Amazan. Thank you as always for your company and hope you can join me next week. See you then.